the sun. From the earth to the sun, we are traveling on the race.
Hi everybody, it's Mateusz from the Cosmos Within Us, and today we're going to be talking about Jupiter entering Aries. The actual date for this transition was May 10th, but I'm not really attached to a particular date or a moment of a transition of a planet from sign to sign, because as we know, there are no clean borders between the constellations of the sky, but we know that around that time, this is when the energetical shift is happening. So this is when we can start tuning into and look for certain themes connected with this planetary placement. Whenever planet changes a sign, it's like a change of a landscape. We look at certain things a little bit differently. We focus on different things. It's like looking at things through different lenses. Especially this change between Pisces and Aries is a very strong and a significant change, because that's a shift from mutable water to a cardinal fire. That's a step from the world of dreams, intuitions, visions, and deep spiritual work and a feeling of interconnectedness, which are all domain of Pisces, into a fire of action, which is Aries. Jupiter symbolizes abundance and good fortune. It brings luck, it multiplies things, it symbolizes expansion, extension, exploration. Also our religious beliefs and truth as well, righteousness, I would say, some kind of order, right? In a mythology, Jupiter was Zeus. Aries, sign of Aries, is a sign of action. It's this energy. It's a first sign in the zodiac wheel. So it has this cardinal power of fire element, which is given to that sign to break through the resistance of matter very often. And all the time the Jupiter was in Pisces, and which was so much about finding a meaning, discerning what is truth and what is illusion. I don't know if you remember the time of Jupiter and Neptune conjunction. It was a time of internal work, deep spiritual connection, and as I mentioned, dreams, intuitions. Now the Jupiter charged with all these energies coming to an Aries, so it's not anymore time to feel things out and to really think about things too much. Now it's time to act. Jupiter in Aries is a time to act, to take meaningful steps or actions upon what we believe to be right and what we believe is truth. When we talk about Jupiter in Aries, it's also good to mention Mars, because Mars is a ruler of Aries, and right now Mars is in a sign of Pisces, which is ruled by Jupiter. So we have a situation where Mars is in domicile of Jupiter and Jupiter is in a domicile of Mars. And this is something that we call in astrology a mutual reception, and it's a situation where these planets, there is some kind of exchange of energy between these two planets. We say that they share resources. Jupiter and Mars are also planets that supports expression of solar energy. So this is a pretty high charge combination, I would say. Jupiter in Aries and Mars and Jupiter together, because on May 29th we will have Mars and Jupiter conjunction in Aries. That's a very, fast acting, straightforward, honest and open combination. Jupiter also, opens other dimensions of things and urges us to look beyond. So there's like adventurous quality to this placement. Another quality of this of Jupiter being in Aries, what Aries as an environment for the Jupiter can bring out of it, is something I would call doubtlessness. I don't know if that word even exists, but I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. What also Jupiter and Aries or Mars have in common is a confidence. Mars and Aries increases the speed. It's giving a fast pace to whatever is connected to a Jupiter. So if we want to act swiftly, if we want to act quickly upon our beliefs, then we cannot really have many doubts, can we? So this combination, I guess this is also a challenge that lies within this planetary placement, is having absolutely no doubts. Jupiter focuses our attention on a bigger picture, and this is where we lose important details. We might jump very quickly and hastily into judgments of things because we already know the time of doubts is gone. The Jupiter is out of Pisces, and right now we know what is good, we know what is good, and we are going to do it. Jupiter in Aries or Jupiter Mars contact can be a little bit of John Wayne in High Noon situation, just waiting to pull a trigger. So this is something that we need to be aware of and be careful, because we might it's a kind of risky combination. We might take a risk, we might be overconfident and jump into things, jump into actions very quickly, jumping into judgments very quickly as well. In natal chart, Mars and Jupiter contact gives a profile of, I would say, a crusader, someone who is like really is willing to fight for what a person believes in, but all the crusades and holy wars were of course so much over the top, because there was also strong conviction that whoever believes in something else than I believe and have a different opinion deserves to die. But it's just a principle that is telling us that there is a potentiality for being like maybe too strong when it comes to executing our will, and over confident and just going very fast, straightforward, focusing energy on things without really taking important details under the consideration. Another aspect of that planetary placement worth mentioning, I think, is our impulses, desires, and our vital forces, because that's what is connected with sign of Aries. So this is a kind of, Aries also symbolizes our like a primal force within us, which can be manifested as instincts and impulses. Let's remember that Mars and sign of Aries is connected with also with anger, with sexual energy, the competitiveness, but also strength. So these all it's a kind of raw energy that stems from within. And let's take an example, a very basic physical impulse as a hunger, the hunger for food. So when Jupiter gets involved, the hunger for food might turn, for example, into hunger for knowledge, or hunger for transcendental experience, or hunger for spiritual experience, for religious ecstasy. I don't know, but something along those lines. Because Jupiter has this quality of opening other dimensions of things and bringing things to a higher level. So this time is a very good time to clear our field and landscape from all doubts and disbeliefs, and to get really focused, and also to meditate and to work on how we can use this primal force within us, the energy of our instincts and impulses. How can we use it towards higher goals, towards higher purposes? Because Jupiter is gives us a focus on commonwealth, common good, higher cause. This sort of things. So how can we use it? How can we use our energy? How can we manage our energy? Planet Mars is definitely telling us in our birth chart a lot about how we manage our energy. But right now, when the Jupiter is in Aries, and we are also expecting Jupiter Mars conjunction, this I think is a good theme to meditate on. How can we use this energy towards something better, towards something higher, to move it beyond, to move it further. The challenges, as we already mentioned, overconfidence, losing the details, jumping too fast into judgments and into actions, taking a risk. This planetary placement can stimulate some kind of hunger for adventure, because Jupiter is also the planet of explorers and exploration. And the Jupiter, also as a ruler of Sagittarius, is bringing. I would like to bring this quality of a centaur here, which was half horse, half man, when a lower part was a animal part, the higher part was a human part, which is a powerful symbol of dominion or conquering our lower nature. And the archer aims his arrow high up into the skies towards higher things. So it's really good to remember this symbol during the time of Jupiter in Aries, I think. When it comes to planning and timing, this is what's going to happen. So Jupiter has just entered Aries, but soon it will start retrograde. Around October, Jupiter will go back to sign of Pisces, and end of December, I guess December 25th, is when the Jupiter will re-enter Aries for good. So now it's just a first act of this play, or a first course of this meal, when we are just being introduced to this energy of Jupiter in Aries. When Jupiter will go back to Pisces, we'll do more work on everything that's related to Jupiter in Pisces, which is religion, spirituality, beliefs, discerning truth from illusion, and finding a meaning and sense. And then end of December, January, this is where we will have a second round, or the second push of Jupiter in Aries. So just to keep this in mind, that we will also have this retrograde period. That's it for today. These are main highlights of this transit, check your birth chart in which house is the sign of Aries in your chart, because this house will tell you which area of your life is going to be influenced by this Jupiter transit. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. You can write in the comment where in which house you have a sign of Aries and the Jupiter now, and I will definitely answer some of the comments there, so to give you a idea what this transit can mean for you personally. Enjoy this transit, take advantage of it, enjoy the springtime. We are still in a season of Taurus. Enjoy the nature and watch out for yourself. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.
We are like travelers. We are like travelers.